Hello guys! Before I start this video, I would love to thank my top tier patrons, Bearheart, Eduardo, and the Texorcist. Thank you guys very much, I couldn't do it without you. Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my little videos. Now it's been a while since I did a proper RetroTech video, and in this one we will be talking about a video format which I've always found entirely fascinating, and that format is LaserDisc. Now of course LaserDisc is a topic that YouTube's full of, so if you're interested in detailed history of LaserDisc you can check out these awesome videos by Technology Connections. TechMoan also made some great videos about LaserDisc. So in this video I will show you LaserDisc, of course, but it will mostly be about my relationship with LaserDisc. Part of why I find LaserDisc so fascinating is that it never existed in this country. So the first time I've even heard of it was in 2004, when I read about it in the movie magazine Premiere. Printed, obviously, which I used to read religiously at the time. The article was about the 2004 DVD release of Star Wars, and it mentioned that the original versions were only available in the US on LaserDisc. This caught my attention in a big way, because I already really wanted the original versions. And I imagined LaserDisc to be something like Video CD, which would be playable in a regular DVD player. Imagine my surprise when I learned that this is CD, and this is LaserDisc. As you can see, I got my first LaserDisc player in 2021, but this is something I've wanted for years. Of course, my fascination with the format only grew as I dove into fan preservations of the original Star Wars films. And before the 2006 DVD came out, which was actually sourced from 1993 LaserDisc Master, the fan-made LaserDisc transfers were by far the highest quality of the original versions to be found. Interestingly enough, the video on LaserDisc is actually analog. You would expect it to be digital when you see the physical similarities to CD or DVD. But LaserDisc actually predates CDs by several years. As I said, I'm not going to go into the history of LaserDisc here, as there are many great videos about it already. But I will show you my very humble LaserDisc collection. And in part 2 of this video, I will try and demonstrate the video quality of LaserDisc by showing you some of the films I have on LaserDisc, as well as several other formats playing on my TV. Okay, now let's dive into my LaserDisc collection. Many of these I actually got with my LaserDisc Player, which was part of the reason why I bought this one, even though it's not a very high-end model. And I will be starting with the ones that I'm not that excited about, so I will be selling some of them off, which is also why I want to at least somewhat preserve them in this video. So first of all, I have this Pavarotti Opera LaserDisc, which doesn't even have a cover, so this one I'm definitely not that interested in. Although not having a cover, I'm not even sure it will sell, so maybe I'll just use it as a display piece somewhere. Next we have this, which, because it only has the title on in Japanese, it's kind of hard to see what it even is, but it's the original Judge Dredd with Stallone. Again, no cover, so I don't know, maybe I'll keep it just for like a display piece or something. Then we have this, which again is a movie I've never heard of, so I will be selling that. Another movie like that I don't know this movie at all is this John Travolta movie, which I'm very much not interested in. But it's actually still sealed, so I'm hoping somebody will buy it. Then I have this Under Siege film, which again, not at all interested in personally. So, but I'm actually already using that one as a display piece at work. So maybe I'll put that back in and try and sell it and use one of those coverless ones instead. Then I have Wayne's World, which is a good movie, but I'm not that excited about it, so I will probably sell that. Because you see, I really just want to keep. I'm not out to start a huge LaserDisc collection. I just want to have like some of my favorite films on LaserDisc. And Wayne's World, while it's a good film, is definitely not one of my favorite films of all time, so I will not be keeping this one. Then we have this National Geographic LaserDisc, which, again, not that interesting. Then we have the Flintstones film, the live-action one, which I liked as a kid, but definitely don't need to have it in my LaserDisc collection. I don't even have it on Blu-ray. Now we're getting into an area where I'm not sure which ones I want to keep, and that's animated Disney films. This one I don't think is Disney. At least I'm not sure. It doesn't say Disney on it anywhere, so yeah, I don't think that's Disney. It says from the director of All Dogs Go to Heaven, which actually was one of my favorite cartoons or animated films when I was a kid. But this one I've never seen, so I will probably be selling it. Now we're getting into Disney films, and I liked Pocahontas when I was a kid, but again, not a huge fan, so I might sell this one. I'll see. Here we have Bambi. Most of these, I think so far, were CLV LaserDiscs. For those who don't know, CLV was a format sort of like SP and LP on VHS, where you could, in CLV, you could fit 1 hour of runtime on one side of the LaserDisc. So since this is just one disc, I'm gonna assume it's CLV. And in CAV, you could only fit 30 minutes of footage on one side of the LaserDisc. So CAV films are usually 2 or more discs. And actually here we have the Jungle Book in CAV format on 2 discs. And longer films could actually be on like 3 or even 4 discs in this format. And in CAV you could use a lot of like trick play features, like still frame and going frame by frame, which the CLV format did not support. So yeah, Bambi, really nice, children's film, but probably not going to be keeping that one. Probably the same will apply to Jungle Book. I like it as a kid. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I need to own it on LaserDisc specifically. Fantasia, it's extended play, so I think extended play means CLV. Although it is on 2 discs, so I'm not entirely sure. I've never actually seen Fantasia, so I might actually watch it for the first time on LaserDisc, because animated films look really good on LaserDisc, because you don't get all that much detail anyway. So yeah, like I watched Bambi on LaserDisc and it looked really good. So I might give this one a watch on LaserDisc and decide whether I want to keep it or not. Now, Lion King is one of my favorites, so I'm definitely keeping that one. This is an NTSC CLV disc. My player can actually play both PAL and NTSC discs, so that's pretty good. And in part 2 of this video, I will be comparing an NTSC Laserdisc to a PAL Laserdisc of the same film. And I myself am curious if there's going to be any perceivable difference in video quality. Next, we have Aladdin. Also, one of my childhood favorites. Nice 2-disc collection. CAV. So I'm gonna have to decide whether to keep this one or not. But yeah, because on one hand, I like this movie, but on the other hand, I suppose this could sell fairly well. So yeah, we'll see. And last of the Disney films that I have is Snow White. A really nice release. It's CLV, but and I will be keeping this one because it's one of my mom's favorite films, and it was actually, I think, the second film ever that I saw in a movie theater. The first one being the original 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films. Okay, and quite apart from the Disney films, we have this Playboy calendar. I'm definitely keeping this one for the humor value. Then we have Die Hard with a Vengeance. Good film, but again, I might not keep this one. I'll have to think about it. And now we're getting into the territory of the films that I'm definitely keeping. So first of them is True Lies. This one actually hasn't come out on Blu-ray still. I do have it in HD because it came out on D Theater, which is a whole other RetroTech chapter, which was 1080i films on VHS. So it can be found in 1080i on the internet, but it never came out on Blu-ray. And it's a really great film, and I want to keep it in my collection for sure. And it's a 2-disc CAV version as well. Pretty nice. Really happy to have this one. Now the only film that I have the same release in both NTSC and PAL, and it's another James Cameron film, Titanic. And I know the opinions on this film vary, but it's one of my best movie-going experiences ever. And, you know, I was obsessed with Titanic when I was, you know, when it came out. I was like 10 years old or something. I was actually more obsessed with Titanic at the time than Star Wars. And this is the NTSC version from the US. And then we have the PAL version from Germany. What's interesting is that the covers look pretty much the same, but actually the German one is a little more premium. I don't know how well this can be seen on camera, but this stripe here is gold on the German Laserdisc, but it's just sort of gold color, like yellow on the American one. And the back is pretty much the same, but again, the German Laserdisc has the white screen in gold, whereas the American doesn't have it on the back at all. But the inside spread, this is the German, and this is the US version. And as you can see, it's totally different in each of them. Now the next one I have here is Delicatessen, which is a great film from one of my favorite directors, Jean-Pierre Jeunet. who's the director of Amelie, and that's one of my favorite films of all time, never came out on LaserDisc, so this is the next best thing to own as a fan of this director. Actually still sealed, and I will be keeping it that way because I have this film on Blu-ray, so if I want to watch it, I will watch it on Blu-ray. Another one of my favorites, and this is a classic, Cabaret. Again, a very nice release with a inside spread. I really love this film. And I actually also have a vinyl soundtrack of Cabaret. So again, just for collecting purposes, I have this film on Blu-ray, so I'm not gonna be watching it on LaserDisc. But yeah, the films that are near and dear to my heart, I want to have in my LaserDisc collection. Another one of my favorites, Forrest Gump. I have this film on Blu-ray, of course, again, so not going to be watching it on LaserDisc. But what I did watch was it has it's CLV on 2 discs, and the 4th side is actually a behind-the-scenes documentary, which is part of the DVD and Blu-ray releases as well, but it was really fun to see it on LaserDisc. So yeah, very nice premium release of one of my favorite films. Very happy to have this one in my collection. And now the Indiana Jones trilogy. I have Raiders of the Lost Ark. These are actually NTSC Laserdisc. I think they're from the US, and they're not widescreen. They're full screen. But again, I don't mind. I will probably be buying them on 4K as well because it looks like the new 4K versions are really good. So I have this Raiders of the Lost Ark Laserdisc, and then I have The Last Crusade, also full screen. And I don't have the Temple of Doom on Laserdisc, but I do have a vinyl soundtrack of it. So I sort of have the whole trilogy in that way. The next one, I unfortunately don't have a cover for it. It was one of those Laserdiscs I got with the player. So I will probably have to buy it again on Laserdisc at some point. And it's Terminator 2. One of my all-time favorites. Next, we have Jurassic Park and its sequel, The Lost World. This is a movie I adored as a kid. I had it on VHS, well actually I still have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, you know, but this is the best looking home video release, not in terms of video quality, just the cover itself that I have of it. Really wonderful. And also, actually, the video quality on this is pretty amazing. Like, if someone played it to me and told me it was DVD, I would probably believe them. The Lost World, I actually enjoyed this movie a lot when it came out, and I still enjoy it, although it's nowhere near as good as the first one, but I still really enjoy watching this film as well. And now, of course, the films that started it all for me with LaserDisc, Star Wars. First, I have this Return of the Jedi LaserDisc from, I think it's from the 80s. I couldn't find a specific year in which this came out, but it's beautiful packaging. And what's special about this one is that it's full screen, but it doesn't really matter because it's the only LaserDisc that I own that has very, very obvious laser rot. and I was surprised that it actually still plays. But the picture quality is totally awful, of course. I will talk about this and show it to you in more detail in the next part of my Star Wars on Home video series. Well, and the rest you've already seen in my Star Wars on Home video series. The 1997 Empire Strikes Back Special Edition LaserDisc, and the 1995 French original trilogy. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see part 2 early, you can support me on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and may the Schwartz be with you.